Still Tuesday, August 25th, Accounting 1, Chapter 1, Problem 1-5A, page 46, Step 3, Preparing Financial Statements. Okay, let's share the screen. Here's the table we prepared. And we set our financial statements over to the right. Okay. Let's start with the income statement as usual. I'm going to have to be moving back and forth here, so if anybody has some motion sickness, please, please try not to watch too closely. This is enter the period of, I can't read the whole thing, hold on. Enter the period of time covered by this statement. Okay. Let me scroll back. Should be a drop-down box. Yep, there it is. And it's for the month ended July. Dry cleaning revenue. Again, I'm going to scroll over. Oops. Our dry cleaning revenue total was $116,875. So I just reference that cell. List the expenses in order of largest to smallest, with the exception of miscellaneous. Enter as positive values. Okay, well, I'm going to put miscellaneous in right away, because it's right here, and that's $2,700. So I'm going to, oops, let me make sure I get that equal sign in there, minus, because these are all listed as negative numbers here. Okay, so there's my miscellaneous expense. And they want this to be in some sort of order, so let's see which one's next. So far it looks like wage expense, I think. Oh, dry cleaning expense. Dry cleaning expense is next. Then wage expense, rent. Is that rent? Yeah, rent. Okay, so let's do those three, because I can't remember more than 3 things at a time, so let's do that. Dry cleaning, wages, and rent. Dry cleaning, wage, rent. So equals a minus sign. Dry cleaning expense is this one. And let's see, wages is AE and rent is AH. Okay, let's see if I can remember that. So if this is AB59, I think this is going to be, what did I say, AE 59? Oh, negative, okay. Equals minus AE 59, and this will be equals minus AH 59. Let's see the next ones. will be supplies, truck, and utilities. Supplies, truck, and utilities, AK, AN, and AQ. Supplies, truck expense, and utilities. Okay, total expense. Yep. That's better. And then net income is revenues less expenses. There we are. A little more Excel dancing than I expected, but that's okay. We need to practice. I don't know how many of you have spent too much time in Excel, but you can't ever have too much practice doing formulas, even really simple ones. If you're not doing massive macros, it doesn't mean you're not practicing formulas. Just simple ones are the ones you use all the time anyway. Okay, let's do our statement of owner's equity. This covers the same period of time, so it's for the month ended July. We have a beginning balance, and that's going to be at the, I'm going to go ahead and put my equal sign here and then go find our capital beginning balance. Which is right here. The smaller of the two items that increase owner's equity, so that's going to be investment by owner. So additional investments during July. I wish it had said something like investment by owner or whatever, because this almost sounds like he's buying IBM stock or something. But anyway, and I think this came from, this was S35. I think this is S36. Oops. Yeah. Then that's a subtotal here. So this will be net income from July, and we'll reference that number from here. This will be his net increase. No, we have to do withdrawals, right? No, that comes later. No, I think withdrawals is next. I'll put it there. And this is, what is that? Is that going to be in column U, I wonder? Nope, column V, so it'll be V59. Enter as a negative value, so can't remember if we put it in as a negative or not. So let me just do V59 and see what happens. Well, it's a negative number already. So all right, so this will be our net increase in owner's equity, which is, if we can put the sum in here if you want, do it that way. Even though it's only 3 numbers, just practice. So here's our increase in owner's equity, and here's our ending balance. Okay. Again, it's not fighting with us, so it must like us. Let's move on to the balance sheet. The balance sheet is as of a point in time, so it's going to be as of July 31st. So we put them in the same order, so I think we start with cash. Oops, let me put in my equal sign here. Equals. And that's going to be D59. Then we have receivables and supplies in G and J. Accounts receivable, supplies inventory. This, I believe, was G59. I think this was J59. I think we have only one left. It's probably land. And I can't remember what.
M.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Total assets. I'm going to go ahead and drop in the owner's equity here since it's right there. Joe Palt Capital. I think all we have for liabilities is accounts payable, which is P. And we'll do our math, see if it works. And assets do in fact equal liabilities plus owner's equity. Yeah. Hard to argue with success there. So I think this is the last assignment for chapter 1, isn't it? So we're a little bit ahead of schedule, and that's kind of by design. The no test process saves us a massive amount of class time. And I think that, you know, given the kind of class direction we have, or delivery we kind of have to do this semester, well, let me get out of the share. Given the kind of delivery we have to do this semester, I think the most ground we can cover in a more reasonable way, I think makes sense. So what have we done so far this chapter? Well, we've prepared, what, 5 or 6 different sets of financial statements, which I think is really important to do early in our accounting career. And what will happen is that we've really kind of laid the groundwork that here's what we're trying to do. We're trying to gather all this information and in order to prepare a good set of financial statements. So let's take a look at what financial statements look like right away in accounting in chapter 1, and then we'll move on to here are the steps we need to go through to get there. So chapter 2 really focuses a lot on journal entries, and we've been doing a lot of journal entries in chapter 1, not actually writing them out, but I've been telling you what they sound like. And so as we get into chapter 2, we'll use the same journal entries from Chris Clark and Net Solutions, but it will be in a general journal format versus this table. The same transactions, but how it sounds should sound familiar to you. For example, the first entry is is Chris Clark puts $25,000 into Net Solutions, and that journal entry was increased cash and increased capital by $25,000. But it sounds like this: debit cash for $25,000, credit Chris Clark Capital for $25,000. I just wanted to get you to hear that so that it's not a surprise to you in Chapter 2. One of the things that we're hearing from employers, and I don't disagree, I had the same problem when I was taking these courses, that after Accounting 1, you get away from doing a lot of journal entries, and so you lose some of that skill. Not because you're not smart enough, it's that we just don't practice it enough. And so we need to, and Melinda and I are both mindful of that and trying to practice journal entries as often as possible, just even if it's going through 5 or 6 of them at the beginning of class. What's this journal entry look like? Because it's really a key component. If you go to work for a public accounting firm, you're doing accounting work for people who are, plumbers and electricians and used car dealers, and they want to be plumbing and electrical work and used car sales. They don't want to have to know about accounting, so they usually mess it up and then they give it to us. Well, once they give it to us, then we have to figure out what they did wrong and then fix it. And so it makes it a lot easier if we're very comfortable with the debits and credits. It's like, oh, okay, this is what this guy did, and then you fix it. A very common place for employers to mess up their accounting is payroll. They mess up payroll so bad all the time, and it's up to us to fix it. And so the more we know about debits and credits, the more comfortable we are, the easier it is for us to fix that stuff, and it's also very easy for us to explain it to our client. So we're going to continue to beat on debits and credits as often as we can throughout the 1 year or 2 year cycle, whichever you're in. And so don't think we're getting away from journal entries after accounting, after Chapter 2 and 3. Anyway, having said that, I think we did okay. I don't want to, I think it's all right to stop a little early today. What I plan on doing is I'm going to post, that gives me some time to get these I've got some videos I need to get posted into Schoology, so I can probably do that in the next 20 minutes. And I think I'll put them in a separate folder, and inside that, that'll say class videos, and in that folder will be some subfolders by Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. So you should be able to find, and they'll be listed by day. So we started on the 17th, so it'll be 17, 18, 20, 24, 25, 27. So it'll be listed by day in there. So chapter, then by day, and within the day, I've been trying to do 2 or 3 videos, and I think that as the semester goes, I might break it up into even more, maybe 4 or 5, so that you're not having to scroll through 2 hours worth of video to find the one thing you want to know. So I think we're doing okay. One of the things that might happen maybe next week is I might ask if anybody's planning on being on campus on Tuesday. If you're not going to be on campus next Tuesday, maybe I'll just do this from home and I won't have my mask on. So that's one of the things I'll probably ask on Thursday and Monday for sure. Not that I don't want to come here, but this is the only class I have on Tuesday here, and it saves me 3.5 hours and whatever. But if anybody wants to come here, don't use that as an excuse not to come here. I'll be here. But I'm just trying to be pragmatic here. I think it'd be easier for me without the mask. It'd be clearly easier for you, I think. So, but I think I had a comment yesterday in the chat that somebody was planning on coming in later in September if the governor's rules stop. I'm okay with that. But I got to tell you, between you and me and the lamppost, I don't think the governor's going to not extend this mask thing. And if the governor doesn't extend the mask thing, there's no guarantee that the school will let us in here without a mask, because that was the plan even before the governor said we had to have one. That before that happened, the school was saying we were all going to be masked up. So if you're thinking that the end of the semester that you can come into this building without a mask on, yeah, I wouldn't bet on it, is what I'm saying. Now, if it happens, I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. What I'd prefer is to have a plexiglass wall right in front of me, and I could be without a mask, and you guys could wear them if you have to, but at least you could see my face better. Anyway, but that's another story. Let's stop the recording.